Hello and welcome to another episode of What's Inside. Today we're looking at TieBreaker. Now this is a simple way to settle a question and find out who's right. You're in a deadlock, you're in a tie. This is supposed to be the way to break the tie. It plays in less than a minute, ages 8 and up, and 2 to infinity can play, it says. I suspect there are not infinity number of cards in here, so that may be limited. But it is by Bezier Games. I'm not pronouncing that right. Bezier. And inside we're going to find 60 cards and a giant TieBreaker meeple. So, let's look at this and see what we've got inside. This retails varies. I think I paid $4 or $5 for it. I bought it just on impulse because I thought it looked cool. But the most I've ever seen it for is like $8 or $9. I don't know if it's worth 10, but we'll find out here. Let's see what we got. Don't let tie scores ruin an otherwise great game, it says on the back. So if you want to know who's right, this is supposed to do it. Alright, so there's our deck, really wedged in there, and there's our meeple. And it's just a little wooden guy with a tie. Alright, this is printed on here, so if the box breaks you're going to lose your rules. It says, rules for TieBreaker. Congrats on your purchase of TieBreaker. Here to tell us the TieBreaker rules is tie the TieBreaker meeple that comes in each game of TieBreaker, and Rocky, who will help clarify the rules. TieBreaker says, thanks Leo, TieBreaker works with 2 or more players who have tied in a previous game. What if only one player is tied? That doesn't make sense, Rocky. One of the players takes a TieBreaker card and reads it out loud. It's better if the reader is a player who isn't tied. The first player to complete the task on the card and then grab the TieBreaker meeple, that's this one, wins the game. What if the tied players don't want to do what's on the card? Then the first player to refuse the task loses. It's like a game of chicken with cards. That's what the cartoon says. So basically you just have to do whatever these cards say, which is probably PG-13 since it's, or PG rated since it's ages 8 and up. So let's open these up and see what we've got. Alright, the gloss on here is cheap, I can feel that already. It's that crappy gloss that's going to make these all stick together under some limited heat. So there is a big pile of cards though, so let's do these one at a time. I'm going to ruin all these for you. First up we've got Tell a Knock Knock Joke. Win ties by grabbing first after you tell a knock knock joke. Next we've got Spell I Win using at least 15 TieBreaker cards. Switch your shirt around so the front is the back. Ask a question the other tied players can't answer. Lift your right foot above your right hand. Name 5 Christmas carols. That might be difficult if you're Jewish or Muslim. Place a card on your elbow and then catch it with that hand. Create a haiku. It may be ridiculous and can be funny. A haiku has 5 syllables in the first line, 7 in the second, and 5 in the third. Count backwards from 70 to 0 by 7s. Balance a card on one finger. Hum continuously the longest. Eat something. Don't eat the card. I suspect that probably doesn't count and would ruin the deck. Push a card over the edge of the table without using your hands. Make the table uneven by placing something under it. Make the loudest noise without using your mouth. Hide something under the TieBreaker box, top or bottom. Cut the TieBreaker deck and guess the correct number of cards. I think it means cut them like this and not with scissors. Balance something on your ear. Count 1 tiebreaker, 2 tiebreaker, through 10 tiebreaker. Form a tie using cards and then break it. Say the last names of everyone who just played the last game. Whistle the happy birthday song. Crawl under the table to the other side. Swallow something. That's good advice for... Okay, I'm not going to say that joke. Say the last 7 letters of the alphabet. Stick a tiebreaker card to your forehead for the longest. Spot 3 differences between the 2 comic characters. It's an image there. Say 5 nice things about the other tied player or players. Leave the room that contains the tiebreaker meeple. Unbutton all of your buttons. Stick something up your nose. Tear something into 3 pieces. Hug someone besides the other tied players, the longest. Create the shape of the tiebreaker meeple using tiebreaker cards. Invert your socks, or someone else's if you don't have any. Drink anything. Yeah, that won't get you sued. Grab the tiebreaker box, top or bottom. This box is going to get destroyed based on what these say, because people are going to be fighting over them. Balance a game piece on your head the longest. Place exactly 10 cards in a row in front of you. Hold your breath the longest. Sit on your hands. You'll have to use something else to grab the meeple. Build a 2-level house of cards. It must have a flat roof on the 2nd level. Give some of your money to the other tied players. Hop on 1 foot the longest. Don't do anything at all. Put anything entirely into your mouth. A lot of jokes there. Spell your last name backwards. Grab this card first. That card's getting destroyed. Stare at the other tied players the longest without blinking. That's not creepy. Do 5 push-ups. Seriously? Empty your pockets or somebody else's if you don't have any. That'll get you a sexual harassment lawsuit. Say 5 games that begin with the letter S. Fling a single tiebreaker card furthest. And lastly, run around the table and sit back down in your seat. Alright, so the cards are pretty cheaply made. The thickness is fine, but this gloss is garbage. It's that same cheap gloss I'm always complaining about. And the box is a real tight fit for these. I mean, they really don't go back in well because they're kind of swelled from the cheap gloss, I think. Yeah, so it kind of, so you can kind of move a couple cards out of the box because the plastic was, or the cellophane was holding that down, and that cheap gloss makes them expand a little because it's so garbagey. Overall, I don't know, it's kind of a one-trick pony. I don't know how many times I'd actually use this to resolve a tie. Yeah, honestly, I don't mind tying games. I play to have fun. I'm not necessarily all about winning. So if I tie, yeah, that stinks, but whatever. But this seems like for more die-hard people that really can't not win or lose. Yeah, I don't know. They're not that good. Some of them are kind of dumb. There's a few funny ones in there, but there's a couple of them that means somebody's getting something broken. So, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about this. I don't feel ripped off. It would be a good way to resolve a problem. So, for problem solving, I'd give it points, but I don't think I'd spend more than about $5 on this. I think I paid $4, as I recall, if I'm remembering correctly. Maybe $4.50, but I think it was $3.99. Anyway, I wouldn't pay more than about $5 for it. I don't think it's that funny. I don't think it's that useful or going to come up that much. It's just more for resolving conflict between players that cannot stand tying. Which I understand that. It could be frustrating, but I don't know. I'm just not that I don't have that much emotional involvement in most games. So, yeah, I don't know. The giant meeple thing's just a gimmick to fill space, I think. Otherwise, yeah, it's kind of cute, but middle of the road for me. But check it out if that's something you're interested in. If you have people that are really annoying and can't resolve a tie, this might be good for them. This might work well with RPGs too, if two people are trying to settle some kind of stupid dispute just to see who's right. That might be something good there. I imagine this would be better for psychologists or professionals of that magnitude, people that work in like partial hospitalization or anything with severe behavior issues. This might be a good way to resolve conflict for them. At least be something to try. But that's about it. I can see this getting very aggressive and probably not, certain personality types not having this help them at all. And anything, it might actually make things a little more aggressive for a short period. But anyway, I'll let you judge for yourself. That'll do it for this episode. As always, thank you for watching, and we hope to see you on the next episode of What's Inside.